They are very, very good, very helpful. So yeah, I am Frank. We are hopefully going to come away today feeling positive, feeling like we're going to go out there and smash the world, do the business. If the sun didn't do it for you already, I'm going to try and just lift you up a little bit more. And I'm understanding, I know a few of you, some I haven't met just yet, but we're all business owners, or at least in the world of trying to run a business, yeah? I think this is like, it's the key, isn't it? It's the key for doing anything with business, with yourself, but being successful anywhere, mindset-wise. I think if you're not on that, if you're not getting that right, you've got no chance. So I do think this topic today is a big one for all of us. Whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing, whoever you work with, I think this applies to every one of us, I hope. I do have a plan of attack. You'll be here for about 15, 20 minutes, I reckon, with me. I've saved a bit of time, I believe, at the end. If anyone's got any questions related to exercise, fitness, mindset, anything you want, fire it at me at the end. I love a question, it's the best, to be honest. But in terms of the content today, who am I? Thought I'd tell you a little bit, just a very short bit on me. I went to why I'm standing here, maybe what the council have done for me to get me here, what I think a winning mindset looks like, because what we think a winning mindset is might differ. When a loser's mindset rears its head, we may have all had moments where we don't feel like we're on it. I've definitely had that quite recently, so I'm going to talk a bit about that so you can recognise it if you're seeing it yourself. I've created a solution, which I created in about 10 minutes this morning. I've called it the Pentagon of PPP, which I'll talk about there. But it just highlights some areas that I want you to focus on off the back of today, and then come out of here hopefully with at least one action you can apply to yourself from the back of this session today. And then what you really came for, the lunch, which is at the back there. It's a nice vegan bowl of some kind from Robin. Beautiful food. Is Robin in here?
Robin's in the kitchen, but plant-based Robin will be in later.
Plant-based Robin is doing the business now, so that will come. It's lovely. It's lovely. So yes. Oh, good. So I've chosen a picture which is about 6 months after that dash to the council. 6 months of Entrepreneurs Academy. If you don't know it, they take you through how to start up a business. You've got an idea, but you don't know what the hell to do with it. That was me. You do a presentation at the end with this grand idea that you've got, and then they may or may not give you money, tell you you're good or not. I didn't win the top prize, but they said, mate, we think you've got a chance. You've got passion at least. So then I had the opportunity to get a different type of grant from them, and I set up what's called Fit with Frank. Used the money they granted me to buy a camera, start filming workouts with people. That's where it all started with the council. Only time I've worn a suit since then is funerals and not good environments. I'm always in shorts. But I've always been in the fitness industry. 24 years it is now, turned 40 last month, and they don't believe it. But yeah, more or less started in the fitness industry at Donnings, at the leisure centre there. I was a lifeguard, kids, parties, trusting your kids with me to kick a football around and all that stuff. Then they put me in the gym, and I was like, quite like it in here. It's quite fun. Everyone's here. They seem to be happy. And then they trained me up, and I just loved the world of fitness. So I've been in that industry since then. Went off and did lots of things, personal training. Went to David Lloyd's, where I spent a big chunk of my time over in Weybridge. Lovely area. Worked my way up the ladder there, became the manager of that place, and then decided I didn't want to be a manager. Wasn't for me. Working for big chains like that. Set up my own business. Sold calf, got a camera, here we are. So 10 years now, this summer I'll have had Fit with Frank. Proud of that. I've won an award, thanks to the Reigate and Banstead Business Awards, which are happening again this year.
Maybe not this year, maybe next year.
Maybe not, maybe next year. But there will be awards that you can enter if you wish to. So they thought that I did okay. I call myself a sofa connoisseur, not because I recognise a good sofa when I see one, but because I've spent a long time, probably too much time, working out how you can exercise with a sofa. The whole concept of Fit with Frank when I made it was I want to help people that aren't coming to the gym. I don't know why they're not coming. There's at least 8 out of 10 of us that don't go. There's a reason, whether you don't want to be there, whether it's intimidating, whether it's too expensive. I was like, I'm going to bring myself to you on your sofa, and I'll teach you how to exercise. So if you need anything exercise-wise on a sofa, ask me at the end. I am the guy for that. I've thought of it, right? Aside from that, I'm a family man. I've got 2 daughters. One's just going into secondary school, which has happened way too fast. The other one's 8, year 4, doing great, keep me very busy. So I'm in a house full of ladies. It's great fun. That's why I work as many hours as I do. And then, safer. I call myself a yes man. I don't know, does anyone else say yes a lot to things? I don't know. Do you find yourself going, yeah, I'll do that. I think my enthusiasm can be a positive, but it can also be a negative in that I say yes to most things. If someone goes, do you fancy this? I go, yeah, mate, we'll do that. And I'll try it. So we're going to talk a bit about how that's probably impacted my mindset in the long haul. But if anyone else recognises that you sort of try and do everything because you're running your business, you want to make it work as good as you can, I'm definitely that person. And I'm not your typical PT, I don't think. I don't know what you think a PT is. But if you maybe hadn't met me before and I said I'm a personal trainer, you might put this image in your head. I don't know what that is. I think with social media now as well, there is even more of the image that you might get in fitness that I think I'm less and less like. And I knew that straight away when I was in the gyms. I thought, I'm not like most of the people that work in this. I don't really care for biceps and six-pack. I'm not into that. Never fueled me. I always liked the person who looked a bit scared in the corner for some reason. I was attracted to those people. I just found that exercise and leisure and sport and activity just helped my life in different ways. Definitely the mindset. So yeah, in terms of like being, I sometimes don't call myself a personal trainer just in case you have this vision of me. I just view myself as someone that helps people find their thing, whether it's tennis or football or whatever your thing is. I want to help you find it so you can use it and make yourself better. So hopefully that paints a bit of a picture of me, why I'm here. There should be another one. And I'll talk about the good stuff first, because Fit with Frank, when I started, it was just great. I was so passionate, so energetic, still am today, but there was like, I felt invincible for quite a long time. And I don't know if anyone has set up a business and you've come out the blocks and you're like, I've got this, man. The world is mine. Lucy Ladles, you are conquering the world already, so you're in this at the moment. But you know, like when your mindset's like, it's just bob on, your motivation's high. Have you been there? You been there? Are you there now? Sort of, maybe? Peaks and troughs. It's good. I mean, and this is part of the yes. So I tried to put some images, some highlights potentially, doing yoga in here with you guys, right here, fantastic. I did a run on telly, don't know if anyone saw me, on Channel 4, but you recognise my little face. That was before COVID, before home workouts were cool. I got the nod to do a series of 1-minute workouts on Channel 4. They called it Sunday Crunch. I mean, what you can do in a minute, I don't know, but I was like, I'll have a bit of that, I'll say yes. Turn up at the studio, it's fantastic fun. Tim Lovejoy was the host guy, if anyone watches Sunday Brunch. And I decided to wear, I don't know if you can see them, they're little monkey slippers. And I've never lived that down. People that saw it were like, oh, the monkey slipper guy. And I was like, yeah, I'm the monkey slipper guy. But I was in the mindset of, right, I've got this chance, I'm on telly, I've got 1 minute. They're going to have to remember me. And that was why I wore the slippers. I was like, I'm just going to come out and be the slipper guy. And it worked. And then I've done lots of things, won some awards along the way, met Theo, what's his name, did sofa workouts in magazines for people who wanted me to fill their magazine pages, corporate events I've turned up to, running events. I've done warm-up for Run Reigate last year, do colour runs, and a little run with Centre Parks was good fun. We used to take people out to Centre Parks and they called it Space to Breathe, and we took you out to random Centre Parks. I'd turn up and tell you the exercise is good and make you lunge about a bit, and it was brilliant. Just brilliant opportunities that came about because I was just like, I'm just on this and I will just do anything that I can to help people exercise. So it is good. When mindset's good, I felt unstoppable anyway. So if you felt that, maybe you connect with that. Then we'll go to the next bit where it's not so good. And this is quite recent for me. 2 or 3 years. Anyone had a flat point in their Yeah, there's a big nod over there. Hugs are available at the end. You know, like, I don't know. I don't think I ever thought about the practicalities of business, or like, I just went with my passion. I was like, I know what I want to do. And everything came easy. You'd get money because people would pay you for the certain things, and you'd get customers because I was passionate enough. But then, I was probably, is it 7 years? Is there a 7-year itch? I think it was probably 7 years. I decided to get my own little studio in Merston, which Ben is now part of with me. When I first went there, I hated it. Absolutely hated it. Because it's like a prison cell. It just didn't fit me. And I just remember going, I don't know what I want to do. And at the time, I was doing corporate Zoom sessions. It's off the back of COVID, when I was doing probably 10, 12 Zoom sessions from this room on my own, trying to energise you at home. And I think it just broke me, I think. We were talking about burnout, and I think it probably was a version of burnout, like I just couldn't be bothered. And I'd never turn up to a class and be like, I can't be bothered today. Just never had that. We're going to go into why I think that happened, because I'm back again now. I feel like I've got my verve back. But that was when I really realised not having everything in place, having your motivation, feeling like you've got your drive is a problem. Because if you run a business and you can't be bothered to do it, you're in trouble. There's no way you're going to get yourself out of that hole. You've got to turn up and know you're at least doing something positive for people, even if you're not passionate about the product. You know you're getting somewhere, you're progressing. So, if the loser's mindset, as I call it to myself, hits you, or you feel like you're not having that sort of winning mentality, I feel it, I get it. There's a strategy, which I think is next. Oh, you've got it? Yes! The Pentagon for perfect personal performance. That is a beauty. I think that's going to catch on. There was one called Deep Health, which I actually used I trained with a company called Precision Nutrition. It's Deep Health, they call it. I might send you a link to that because it's a bit more in depth, but I found it a bit boring. I like things to be colourful and spicy, so I've just adapted it a little bit. And it's the basic concept that you as you, have many things you can do to make yourself feel better. Lots of things, too many things probably, that you can do at any one time to change your life, change how you feel, change your mindset, I believe. The 5 that I tend to work on most, and I understand most, and I've seen work on myself and clients that I work with, are these things. At the very top is purpose. We're going to go into each one of these ones. I think having a purpose is absolutely key. As business owners, if you don't have that, I think you're out, tap out. Exercise, of course. I can't stand here as Fit Frank and not say about exercise. I believe, and I think the science backs me up, that exercising can help your mindset. Whether you believe there's a connection between your physical and your mental, maybe I'll be able to change it today if you don't. What we eat, what we put in ourselves impacts us more than we probably realise. There's a lot of stuff on the gut-brain axis now, if people are reading and looking into this stuff. What you put in yourself will impact how you feel. And you need to consider that, at least, if you're not thinking about that. Sign up Lucy Ladle, she's great. Or Robin. Recovery, which applies to everyone, I think. We all need to recover at times, but as business people, I think we are the worst for not making time to recover, rest. So we'll talk a little bit about that today, and maybe some practical tips to help you. And the one, fun. I don't know, fun is like a key part of my world, whether that's with the kids, whether it's actually in the job. I've had fun at work, so I like to have that now. Do you have fun? I don't know, where do you find your fun? Let's go into each one. We'll talk a little bit about them. I don't want to go too deep on stuff. As I said, I'd love questions at the end if anyone's got them as I'm going through. But I think this is the biggest one. Purpose. Do you know your why, or are you peeing in the wind? Who knows their why at the moment, business-wise? 1, 4, 5, 6. Who doesn't? Does anyone? Or do you admit you don't know your why? Is that a problem, do you think? Is a problem. I think it's critical. Like, and the reason, I think because if anyone's had a personal trainer before, a coach or someone, when you help someone, you always go to why straight away. It's the first thing. It's like consultation. Why are you here? What are you trying to do? I've never had that with a bit of setting my business up. Maybe we did a course on the Entrepreneurs Academy. I don't remember it. Sorry. But like just going back to, why am I, why? What am I doing? You know, with fitness, people might say, I want to lose weight. And then you go, okay, why do you want to lose weight? And they say, so I can fit in such and such a pair of jeans or whatever. You go, but why is that important? And then you're trying to get as deep as you can. Why do you care what size your jeans are? Why is it that that's bothering you at this moment in time? I think the deeper you go, the more you compress the why, the better the outcome. I definitely see that with fitness stuff, and it's why I drill so hard on the why before we get going. Because I think if it's not strong enough, even the best coach or the best person can't raise you enough. If you haven't got it, no one's going to help you. So if you do not know 100% what your why is right now, I would say just put everything down, work out a way to discover it. Like I said, when I set up Fit with Frank, it wasn't a problem for me. I said, there's a problem. People aren't coming to the gym. I know my person. I know what they need, what kind of things are required to help that person. I just go out and do it. It's easy. It wasn't hard for me to do that. So I'm now reconnecting with the why again, discovering the benefit to having my own studio. As much as I hate having my own room, there is a benefit to being away from people for my audience. So that's a really good tick for my why. and it makes my life easier. So when you're thinking about your business, whatever you're doing, why did it exist in the first place? Why did you set up? Has it changed? Can you think about it a bit more again yourself? Spend as long as you can on that, because life's easy when you got it. The rest will help a little bit, but I think that's the one, to be honest. My favourite. The emojis have changed, haven't they?
No, I'm sorry.
We've got some funky emojis. I just wanted an exercise emoji. Exercise. I went on ChatGPT for some stats. Are we using AI yet? Yeah? For good or bad. I won't go into AI today. That's another learning lunch, isn't it, that one? I see it every single day, because it's obviously my industry. I see how exercise helps people, whether it's like they come in moody and they leave me happy, or whether they've gone from doing nothing to then doing it for a sustained period and their life transforms. I just see exercise helps people. I don't really care how you do it. Like I said, football, tennis, walking, playing with the kids. I don't care. When you exercise, your life becomes better. The University of Vermont says 20 minutes of moderate exercise. Moderate. It's not even tough. Can boost your mood for up to 12 hours. So if you just did that 20-minute moderate exercise every day, how much better would your mind be? It just would be better every day. And I'm talking like walking, dancing in your kitchen. I don't know what the thing is. I meet Rachel a lot down up the Reigate Hill. We have our walk, and I set time for it because I know that I'll think better afterwards. I think it's one of the easiest things to do, because you can choose. It doesn't matter what format it comes in. But we don't, for some reason, all do that. For many reasons, because you've got so many things that are more important. I just think it's just an easy one. The easiest. Does anyone disagree with me on that, though? Because I'm very blurred on exercise. Are you like, no, exercise is horrible, mate. It's tough.
I disagree.
Yeah.
From more of a mental standpoint.
Okay.
We're talking about not having enough time. There's this, realistically, of course, there's time. There's always time. But mentally, sometimes, or even emotionally, you don't have the time. Other things get in the way, and it's difficult to set aside the time to exercise. And say 20 minutes exercise doesn't take 20 minutes. There's 10 minutes either side of that. 15 minutes either side of that. It can take a big chunk of your day.
I get that.
You understand?
Yeah. If you flip it and you look at it as buying you time back, I haven't got productivity stats here, but there are productivity stats. That might be a way to sell it to yourself. Because I know where you are. You could, like, I do walk around the Priory. That's why I come to you. I go on my walk. But I know it's part of my day. I don't know how you'd fit that in, but I say to myself, I know this is going to chunk 30 minutes out of my morning, but I actually then think about my day, so I get more out of my day because of that. I don't know. You've got rewiring the cell on it would be my response to that. And I accept that time is one of the biggest factors, but we all find time for things we want to do. And it might be like you just need to, like I said, go back to why your why. If you're not feeling great, we know exercise helps us. You might establish that that is now more of a priority in my life, so I am going to make that 20 minutes. That's why I did workouts on the sofa, because I was like, time isn't a barrier for people. That's why they're not coming to the gym. So if I do it in your house, you press play. My first program is called Tone at Home. 15 minutes a day it was, 3 times a week. 45 minutes a week. I was like, man, if they can't do this, I don't know what I could do for them. I did Sunday brunch, 1 minute. I was like, I don't care, it doesn't matter for me. It's just that trigger, that point that says you're going to do this today. And the knock-on effect from it, in my opinion, is well worth the investment of time. I just see it. Whether it's endorphins, whether it's actual hormonal things going on, I don't know, but there's something about it that can help you appreciate the time thing, but I would always say there's something we can do. Even if it's that mental break, because I know it's, you know, thinking of just a general day, 9 to 5, if I don't take a gap out of that somewhere, I'm useless, man. My brain's fuzzy. I don't know. It's just like, I've got to get out. I'll choose exercise because that's my thing. Then I'll come back. Maybe punch something. I don't know. Sometimes your box. Change it up. Whatever suits you, gets you going. You've got your hand up there, mate.
Yeah, so I quite often meet you, Frank, and I
Yeah.
to Reigate Hill. So for me, I drop kids at school and I sit in that traffic and I think, do you know what? I'm just going to, and I do. I just do 15 minutes.
Is it?
Actually, the top loop of Reigate Hill is actually to 8 minutes. And I thought, do you know what? I'm just going to do that. Leave my phone in the car. I'm just going to do that loop and then come back. So literally, that can just take just 10 minutes. And then if I want to do another one, I can do.
Absolutely.
I think of I think when you say exercise, I'm like, oh, I'm going to the gym, but if I went to the gym, I'd have to drive, as you say, my love, and you know, I have to drive to the gym, and then when you get there, and then that does take like an hour and a half out of your day. But by just taking that little, just tagging it on to what I usually do, putting my trainers on in the morning, if they do 10 minutes, if I want to do a little bit more, I can do. But it's just taking that little bit, and that's how exercise can be put into your day without it taking up too much and anything like that.
Yeah, bite-sized chunks, that's it. And that's our fault, really, our industry, for making you think that exercise is that, because we pump it in your face every day. And it is only getting more and more like that with social media. Everyone's showing you the most extreme version of fitness, whatever that looks like currently. I don't know what you see on your feeds, we all see different things, but fitness and exercise is perceived as the bicep chasing, smash yourself to pieces world. Exercise is just a basic, like, moving your body in any way. So that, you know, I'm all on board. Even if you did nothing but that, great. And that would keep you healthy. Cardiovascularly, you're fine, good to go. Plus, I do think that's well underrated, the outdoor aspect. I didn't write that on there, but outdoor, if you can do it, especially this time of year, it just does open your mind up way more.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't really do much exercise, but I do garden.
Great.
So I try and do it that way around.
Are you available for?
Monotony of doing the same
Yeah.
thing over and over again. But if
Yeah.
I go in the garden, I just move a few pots around and I tinker and I put that down and I do.
Yeah.
Before I know it, I come in, I'm exhausted. And so I try and do that first thing in the morning, and that's my way of just clearing out in nature, get the first morning rains. That's my focus point. Right, where am I going for the rest of the day?
Perfect.
The garden looks a mess at the end, but it doesn't matter.
Well, that's it. And why is that not exercise? I think it absolutely is. I back gardening because it's not normal. I find that tougher than being in the gym. Because the gym, yeah, it is, isn't it? We like it.
Say one thing to that.
Yeah, go.
With any exercise, it's finding the thing that you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know that, and doing stuff with other people as well is a fantastic thing. But with all of it, we're such in a digital world where we are literally from the minute we wake up, you're looking at your phone, or doing something, whether it's swimming, it just gives your brain time for creativity and a bit of peace, or whether you're walking without your phone. And that's the bit that is missing. It's giving yourself permission to have that time without any stimulation, and to, you know, and some of my best thinking comes with walking the dog. So you have that space.
Dogs are a great investment for exercise. They are not going to let you not walk. So there you go. If you need accountability, get a dog. Get a dog. Yeah, I'm going to sell exercise all day long. I agree with you 100%. Any format works for me. I don't really mind how you do it. Should we go to the next? Because I feel like I love exercise. We'll come back to it at the end. I'll keep clapping though. I'm clapping myself. Nutrition. This is a topic, isn't it? Nutrition, we could have a whole thing on it. I'm not going to go into the nuances of nutrition. I find it gets quite, everyone's got different opinions on nutrition. I think we can all agree on one thing though, that eating good food, quality food is going to help you. Harvard Health gave me my statistic for this one. The brain uses up to 20% of the body's energy. So even when you think of that, without reading the next bit, if the brain uses 20% of the energy, you need to be thinking about what you're fueling yourself with, because how can that operate at its best if you're not fueling properly? It takes a big chunk of your energy, that. Mine's probably 11%, because I've got a bit of a smaller one. But the mind, because in my world, when people talk about nutrition, it's always, I want to eat this because I want to change my body or whatever. It's always a physical thing. Nutrition is way more than that. How you feel when you wake up, your energy levels, how you think about yourself will link to this food that you're putting in yourself. And I reckon, I won't pass judgment on anyone here, but the statistics tell me most of us aren't having a great diet. It's a very beige world now. Food is very beige when you go down the high street, and we love our high street. There's a lot of beige, a lot of things that are very quick to eat, tasty to eat, because they sell quick and easy. We then buy those things, and if we only eat those things, or not eat at all, which is another option for a lot of us, because we haven't got time to eat, we've got problems. We're not feeding ourselves enough. And when it comes to mindset and like waking up just with a bit of oomph in you, food's going to play a massive part in that. And thinking of what I see in the world of nutrition, it's always about fat loss, weight loss. This is a big market, big industry. But if you forget that and just think food to fuel yourself, if you like, and just think about what is the quality of what I'm eating? How quality is it? Is it feeding me up or is it pulling me down? You can make a big difference to yourself, regardless of what the scales say and all that stuff. Just looking at the quality of the things you're eating will change how you feel. And it's a complex fix and it's an ongoing process, but you can feel changes quite early on. Like exercise, it's quite an immediate feeling. If you have a good run of food, and maybe you've experienced that, but you've been like, I'm going to be good for a little while, as we tell ourselves, you will not only like perform better physically, but your brain's just sharper. And there's a lot around fasting now where people say the fasting aspect can help your brain. I'm open to all kinds of nutrition. I think everyone's got their own flavours and their own likes. I love food. More of it, the better. But if you've found something that makes you feel good, that's probably the right thing for you. Is how we'll leave nutrition, if that's okay. Because I know that we'll have vegans, because we've got vegan today. We'll probably have some paleo lovers, fasting lovers. Find your thing, but eat well. It's super duper important for that. Yeah, I'm bad at this one. This is my worst one, probably, recovery. But I'm working on this. That is probably, if I think to myself sitting there going, oh, I hate my life like that, I didn't really make time for rest because I was saying yes to everything, even though I'm just sort of doing something that is quite, I suppose, normal for me, exercising, making you do something. You're giving energy. I'm always giving energy to people. That's my job, basically. I come to you, and I want you to leave me better than when you arrive. So I sort of take on a bit of that. And when you're always doing that, and you probably know from whatever you do, if you're giving all the time, your body cannot take that. Your brain can't take it. Mine couldn't. You have to make time for this. So I put in green, when do you experience true rest? Or are you stuck in doo-doo? I thought it was funny. Stuck in doo-doo, I thought it was funny. Sad, really. True rest. Not just like, I don't know, sitting down and scrolling your phone, because that's a classic. I'll sit down and I'll scroll my phone or whatever. I don't think that's true rest. I mean a real time when you feel rested. We're talking Maldives, no kids, 0 devices, just chilling, proper rest. I can't go to Maldives every week, obviously, but just in your week, day, do you experience true rest at all, ever? I didn't probably ever really, I don't think, especially because you run a business and you've got young kids. That's like ultimate disaster zone. Because you go home and it's madness, you come to work, it's madness. Finding the space for true rest has to be worked on, I think. I book in no appointment times, or the walks I've categorised in my mind as a bit of rest. Because it is, it's like I don't take my phone, no one's going to get me here. I'm all right out here in the woods, hopefully, till Rachel comes out on me. But your true rest, whatever that looks like to you, and it can be sitting down meditating. I've not gone with meditation yet. Maybe one time in my life, that's an option. Going to a beach if you've got the option. Suffolk beaches? No. Do you find relaxing spaces? Sitting by the lake? Yeah. Finding areas.
I was at the beach this morning at 6:15.
What? Where?
Down Hastings.
Wow. Resting or doing something crazy?
No, I literally, my boyfriend lives down there, so I spent the last couple of nights, and I had to get back here for 8, so I got up before I came. I just did a little walk along the beach.
Double box tick there.
It's one of the best places to have that
Wow.
nature and thinking, so much space.
Well done. So would you normally make time for that, or was that just a spur of the moment thing?
No, I try to make time.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to rest, isn't there? I think you know the feeling of true rest by being calm, I suppose, which is a rare thing in today's world, I find. But I do think it's hugely undervalued. And if you look at like how stress is absorbed and used in your body, if you're always the push, fight and flight side, which a lot of us are, go, you haven't got that side pulling you back, so you're out of whack, and it'll show itself in whatever way. Burnout, the sad, whatever happens to you, it'll show itself at some point. So if you can proactively make time for rest as much as you book in your movement stuff, I would argue that's equally important, if not more important. Yeah? Probably not all the time, though. If you're running a business, you're going to have to get up and go sometimes. I would say that much. But yeah, definitely look at recovery. And then my biggest one, probably the one we all neglect generally, is the fun part. Do you find work fun? Anybody? Yeah? You do? You were straight up. Because you get to take pictures of people. Yeah. What's the most fun part of taking pictures of people?
No 2 days are the same. It's just getting to know my clients and finding out what makes them tick, and then you do that, and
Yeah.
it just goes in a different direction.
Ben, you're a football coach, mate. I mean, that's the dream job for me. That's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, weather like this, yes.
You see?
Maybe in the winter. No, it's a dream job, yeah. It's not work, really.
Yeah.
Just got good kids as well, so yeah.
I mean, you don't have to have fun at work, do you? I think there's opportunity. When I say the word fun, I don't mean work. It's a bonus if you can. Anywhere in your life, in your week. Because it's a 7-day thing, isn't it, running a business? You know, you get a message on a Sunday, you'll answer it. That's what I disliked about being a manager, actually. I don't know if anyone's been in that scenario of managing other people, is getting a call because something's happened on your day off. You're like, damn, and you have to answer it. So if you're in a place of responsibility, I do feel you on that because you kind of have to answer these things. But making time to just do something you like is as underrated as the rest of what I've just said. But fun rears its head in many different ways. What you find fun is up to you. I'm not going to tell you what fun is. I like football, that's why I picked on Ben there. That's my version of fun. Sometimes being with the kids is fun. Sometimes, depends on the scenario. But you can have fun there. But it's like, and kids are really, if you don't own your own children, hanging around with children is a good reminder of the pure, like, they don't think of anything like that we think about. They're just having fun. Dogs are the same. I find dogs have that same energy. They're just like, I just want to have fun, you know? Hang around with people and just have fun. I think we forget it. We get adults, we get a little bit sort of all focused on the serious stuff. If you're always serious, what's the point? Where's the joy coming in your life? So find time for it. Book it all in. I'm a big sort of advocate for planning ahead. I think it's the old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I think if you don't make time for the things you think are important, like fun, you probably won't do it because something else will come up. So like book it in. I just use Google Calendar, super simple. Boom, put something in there. Golf I've started. I don't know if that's fun. I put it in as a fun, but it's stressful. But anyway, you find your thing. Book it in, make it happen. We're getting near the end now. So, as I would do with clients, there's a zillion things you might be thinking of that you want to do now. All of them may be beneficial, but if you try and do all of them, you'll probably do nothing. So we've got to think of the one thing, like the big hitter, I would say. What is the big hitter? So even out of the 5 Pentagon of whatever I've even called it, the 5 things, as I was just talking about them, what's the one that you could probably tackle today, like that would make a big difference to you? Like you just go, yeah, I don't do any of that, or I feel like I really need to think about that. What's the thing? Because I think if you just focus on that one thing, like anything in life, you'll probably achieve it, or you'll at least move in the right direction. And like perfection isn't the goal, it never is. None of us are perfect. Some of you are close, but we're not. We're just doing our best, aren't we? So when you focus on something, you choose it, you pick it, go for it. I'm not going to ask you to tell me what that thing is, but I would urge you to at least consider taking an action, even if it's booking in the driving range for golf, if you want to do that next week, or going to buy the puppy on the way home that you were thinking about so you can go for your walk. I don't know what your thing is. Join the tennis club, something. Take an action that will change what happens in your life. Because mindset is something I find some of us wait for. We wait for it to happen. It's like, no, I will feel motivated. And I did that for a while when I was sort of down. I know I'll feel better tomorrow. And then you sort of don't. And you're like, I've got to do something. Like be proactive and just like take the plunge. So choose the easiest thing that has the most impact on you. So we might maybe do the walk. I don't know. Take one of your nice coffees for a walk around the Priory. Don't know. Because it snowballs, doesn't it? Using exercise as the sort of analogy, I suppose. If I got someone to do a 1-minute workout, yeah, okay, I know that's not going to like transform their whole life. But you know what happens after that 1 minute of jumping about? They sort of go, oh, I feel a bit better now. And then they might choose a better food, or they might go to bed a bit earlier because they know they need to sleep more. It sort of has that kick-on effect. And it doesn't have to be hard, but you do have to take an action. You have to actually do the thing rather than just think about it. Yeah? There's a final word of encouragement or a sentence of encouragement that you are important to you. Your business is important, but actually, if without you, it's rubbish. So like, if you have to look after you, especially if you've got other people that you're responsible for or things that you care about. If you don't look after yourself, put your own mask on, so to speak, you're rubbish. And I then wrote, as important as lunges and lunches, because I like both of those things. And I thought it'd go well with a lunch, wouldn't it? So I do have a little, just entertain myself on my laptop. Sad. So that's all the main gumph. Exercise brought the most out of you, but is there any other questions? Could still be exercise. Around anything? Or thoughts?
I have a question, Brian.
Yes, come on. Emma.